KESFITNESS. I'm here with
Trevor Latham, President of East Bay Rats.
And we're here with our guest today, Marc MacYoung, formerly known as The Animal. Thanks for showing up today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's quite an honor to have you here.
Yeah, we're both big fans. We read your books as we were getting into the business, and it definitely influenced at least our mentality.
The gray-haired guy telling me about, I read your book when I was first getting in.
Just so you know, that's not real great. He gets his hair done.
Oh, okay.
He's done it so long like that for that salt and pepper look.
So panache. Okay,
yeah, a little panache. There you go.
So, how did you get into bouncing in the first place?
I discovered I could get paid for getting hit instead of just doing it for free.
Yeah, what kind of bars did you work at in the beginning?
There were clubs, there were biker bars, there were other things. What I ended up settling in, though, because of the money, was the strip clubs. You know, higher income, more money. Didn't have the damn bosses who were like, pay you $20 a night for risking hospital time. Yeah. You know.
And what's the best fight you've ever seen in your life, anytime, any place? The most brutal?
Okay, best fight is the one that never happened.
Yeah.
The most brutal, the most brutal, I've seen some really nasty things, but the one that really taught me how bad, dangerous things could be was a time where I grew up in a neighborhood where everybody was an ethnic minority, and there was a lot of tension between the groups, but, hey, we're kids, and there's also partying and getting drunk and all that. There was a party that was held by a Japanese girl, and she had taken all the valuables of the house and put them in a room and locked it. And this guy had broken in. And as he was coming out, she walked by and said, "What are you doing there?" And he hit her. Right? Well, one of the things about, different groups is you don't hit their women. It is considered bad.
Yeah.
And, they caught him about 30 feet out from the door, and they proceeded to stomp him. And I mean, just tearing this guy up. And, they were trying to get the stuff back, but his fingers were broke, so we couldn't pull him out of his BDUs. Right? So they were working him over. So, his fingers are broke, you can't get him out, so they pantsed him, shook out all the stuff. They got everything back. Somebody said, "Get him out of here." They picked him up, they started dragging him away, and somebody says, "Hey, he can still walk, let's break his legs," and they did. Right? So they actually sent this guy to hospital for 6 weeks. And it was one of those things that I learned the real dangers of dealing with multiple groups. And I mean, that's some of the most nasty violence I have seen.
And a fully justified mob. There's nothing more frightening than somebody that thinks they're justified.
Mm-hmm. You messed with their bad move. And it was just total, and I was just watching this guy, and I mean, he couldn't talk because his jaw was busted and his teeth were gone. And he was bleeding all over everything. Yeah.
It just reminds me, I was telling earlier that I went to a school, it was called the Foundry, and in order to go to that school, you had to be locked up, or we had the Scared Straight program, we did all that, Scared Squires and all that sort of stuff. But most people that attended that school were Norteños, Latino gangsters. And I'd hear them show up at school consistently talking about how they jumped people and wanted to break people's legs and all that sort of stuff, and they were laughing about it. And having been jumped by them several times myself during this process, one of the things I realized is that in dealing with that kind of situation, you just never want to be on the ground.
No.
The ground is a death sentence, basically.
The ground is death.
You need to pop up, you need to be back on your feet and running or whatever the hell you can do to create space, but just that the ground is a death sentence. And
well, it is and it isn't. You're absolutely right in most circumstances. Okay. One of the things that I tell people is grappling works out of the box for when you don't want to hurt the guy. Right? When I got drunk on Uncle Albert at a family reunion and Mom says, Yeah, which is, there's a family enforcers.
And assisted wrist takedown is perfect for that situation.
Right, and it's great, and it is a wonderful tool for that purpose. Okay, you don't want to do it in a bar. Right, and one of the things that when you look at the different types of violence, right, recognize when the tool is the tool for that job.
Yeah.
Right, and on the ground against the group, oh hell no.
Yeah.
You don't want to be there. You want to get up as quick as you can. And one of the things that bugs really bothers me is when you get people who call, oh yeah, take them to the ground game, and it's like, excuse me, practice getting up.
Yeah.
Where do you have to position yourself to be able to get up quick?
Exactly.
Right? And generally speaking, you need to get one leg underneath you so you can piston up.
Yeah. Like
right.
Almost like a mini lunge position or whatever.
Yeah, but it's something, because, you know, rolling on all fours and putting your hands down, trying to get up.
It's a great way to get a boot party to the ribs and things.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I mean, it's like, I kind of like not having my ribs pushing through my lungs.
You know, since we brought this topic up, I hear this from jiu-jitsu practitioners all the time. Usually from people who haven't had much real-world experience dealing with survival scenarios as opposed to competitive scenarios as far as combat goes. And they're like, oh, most fights are going to go to the ground. We can just take you right to the ground. And I'm like, stop. Oh, I see. I get a nerve. It's the same nerve. I recognize that's the same way that I know. It's the same way that I feel.
No. There's nerves and then there's raw nerves. Okay. Here's the thing. A guy named Sergeant Greg Dossie did a report in the 1980s, or excuse me, 1990s, about use of force, okay? And how many, and basically what he was saying is, like, look, what we're teaching police isn't working. So he went out and he categorized, you know, a right hook is an A, and he found out, and what he found out is that in about 24% of all resisting arrests, one or the other went to the ground. So usually it was the perp, followed by the cop, right? But the thing about it is, it was a significant number, enough to say that, I don't remember, it's 24 or 27, I can't remember the exact number, right? But I tell you about this because I was dealing with the LAPD about knife work, right? And I have held the report in my hands, right? He's on the phone, I'm like, you know, I'm like a porno magazine. But the thing is, the numbers were significant enough to change the training, right? Because it didn't happen all the time, but it happened enough where the cops would go down on the ground with the guy, right? And I mean, other than following him, I mean, you both end up, so it's like warranting, teaching, grappling to it. And yes, this is wonderful. As again, this is also the BJJ wonderful works when it's a cop trying to control somebody. It is called submission fighting. It's awesome, right? But I've held the report. However, then the marketers got on, and there's an issue on this that is part of my nerve here, is while the Gracies say they never said that, the story is consistent enough by all the people. It's like, how, you know, the same thing keeps on showing up again and again and again among the followers and the students. Okay, so maybe you never got caught on camera saying that, but the consistency of this and the marketing of it, right, on 90% of all, you know, and where did it come from? Well, there was an LAPD study that said 90%. No, you know. Oh, baby. You know, I mean, that is one of those things of, you know, grappling is a great tool. It is a wonderful thing. You need to know how to handle yourself on the ground for controlling and submission fighting, but you also need to know to get the fuck up.
Amen.
When it's not that time.
Amen.